Hello, my dear sleepy friend. Welcome. And tonight, I have something truly special for you. I'm so glad you found your way here to this quiet and comfortable space. Before our story begins, let yourself settle in. Find that perfect position, the one where your body feels most at ease, most supported. Maybe you pull a soft blanket up a little higher, tucking it around your shoulders. Maybe you adjust your pillow, letting your head sink into its gentle cradle. There's no rush here. This time is all yours. So now relax and keep listening. Imagine yourself a weary traveler on a foggy European night. The city around you is ancient, its name a half-forgotten whisper. A fine persistent mist hangs in the air, blurring the edges of the gas lamps that line the narrow cobblestone street. Each stone is slick with moisture, reflecting the hazy golden light. The air is cool and damp against your cheeks, carrying the scent of wet earth, old stone, and the faint, distant smell of a wood fire. The world is muffled by the fog, the clip-clop of a faraway carriage, the lonely chime of a clock tower marking some unknown hour. You've been walking for what feels like forever. Your footsteps the only rhythm in this dreamlike landscape. You aren't frightened, just adrift. You pull your coat a little tighter and continue your meandering path with no destination in mind, just letting the winding streets guide you. And that's when you hear it. At first, it's so delicate, you might think you imagined it. A series of tiny crystalline notes, like silver bells chiming from a great distance. It's a melody, faint and yet impulsively clear, cutting through the thick grey fog. It's a sound of pure beauty, a thread of silver in a grey world. A gentle curiosity pulls you forward, your steps finally having a purpose. The melody grows a little stronger with each step, leading you down an alleyway you hadn't noticed before. The fog seems to part just for you, revealing a small shop nestled between two larger, darker buildings. It appears as if from nowhere, a little island of warmth and light. The shop front is made of a dark, rich wood, carved with swirling vines. The large bay window glows with a soft, inviting light that spills out onto the wet cobblestones. Through the old wavy glass, you can see the silhouettes of countless small ornate objects. Above the door, a hand-carved wooden sign hangs from a wrought iron bracket. In elegant curling script, it reads, Madame Cordelia's Magical Music Box Shop. The melody you have been following seems to pour from within, a gentle beckoning call. It's not just one tune, you realize now, but several, all weaving together in a delicate, impossible harmony. Drawn by an impulse you don't quite understand, you reach for the heavy brass doorknob. It feels warm. With a gentle turn, the door opens, and a small bell above it sings a cheerful, tinkling welcome. You step inside, and the foggy street dissolves behind you. You are immediately wrapped in a blanket of warmth and wonder. The air is warm and dry, smelling of beeswax, old wood, and something else. Something sweet and floral, like dried lavender and rose petals. A small fire crackles merrily in a stone fireplace, its flames casting dancing shadows on the walls. The shop is bigger than it looked from the outside, a labyrinth of floor-to-ceiling shelves and velvet-draped tables. And on every surface sits a music box, hundreds of them, perhaps thousands. They are every shape and size you can imagine, simple wooden boxes, polished to a high sheen, ornate caskets of silver and gold, inlaid with mother-of-pearl, whimsical creations shaped like carousels, cottages, and grand pianos. And from them all comes that soft, harmonious symphony, a gentle cascade of sound that isn't overwhelming, but profoundly peaceful. As your eyes adjust, you see a figure emerge from between two tall shelves. She's an old woman, but she wears her age with a timeless elegance. She is tall and slender, dressed in a long velvet gown, the color of midnight. Her hair is a startling silver, swept up in an intricate knot, and her eyes, the color of warm amber, hold a gentle knowing sparkle. She moves with a slow, deliberate grace, as if she's gliding rather than walking. "Welcome, traveler," she says, her voice as soft and melodic as the music that fills the air. "I am Madame Cordelia. I've been expecting you." Her words don't surprise you. They feel right, like this was an appointment you had simply forgotten you had made. "The fog can be quite disorienting," she continues, a gentle smile on her lips, "but it has a way of leading people where they need to go. Please come in, warm yourself by the fire." You move closer to the hearth, holding your hands out to the pleasant heat. The symphony of music boxes seem to swell and recede around you, like the breathing of some great sleeping thing. "Each of my boxes has a story," Madame Cordelia says, her voice a soft murmur beside you. "They aren't just machines of wood and wire. They are vessels. They hold memories, dreams, moments of quiet joy that were too precious to lose." She gestures with a gloved hand towards a nearby set of shelves. You follow your curiosity now, fully awake. This first section is filled with grand and formal creations from the Victorian age. "This is the Gallery of Beginnings," Madame Cordelia explains softly. She points to a rosewood box, its lid inlaid with two swans on a lake, their necks forming a heart. This one holds the memory of a first dance, a young count and a debutante at a ball in Vienna. They were terribly nervous, you see, but when the orchestra played this waltz and he took her hand, everything else melted away. The melody holds that moment of breathless, silent understanding. She doesn't open it, but as you look at the box, you can almost hear a faint, elegant waltz weaving into the shop's gentle symphony. She guides you to another box, smaller and made of dark oak. "And this one," she says, her voice dropping to a near whisper, "holds a lullaby. It belonged to a sea captain's wife. Her husband was away on long voyages, sometimes for years. Every night she would play this tune for their child, imagining the melody was carrying her love across the vast, dark ocean to keep him safe." You gaze at the box, and a feeling of profound, quiet love seems to come from the aged wood. You can almost feel the gentle rocking of a cradle, the soft hum of a mother's voice. You move on to a section where the designs are sleeker, more geometric, in the Art Deco style. Here we have the Hall of Aspirations. Madame Cordelia says with a soft smile. She indicates a lacquered box of black and gold. This box played in the office of a young architect in 1920s Paris. He dreamed of building skyscrapers that would touch the clouds. He would wind it up whenever he felt discouraged, and the bold, optimistic melody restored his faith in his vision. Another box nearby is fashioned from chrome and glass, like a futuristic city from a silent film. This one, she says, belonged to an astronomer. She spent her nights gazing at the stars, and the melody inside is full of swirling arpeggios that mimic the majestic, silent dance of the cosmos. It holds a sense of pure wonder. You walk slowly through the shop, a willing student in this museum of memories. Madame Cordelia guides you from one section to another. There's a corner filled with rustic, hand-carved boxes from Germany. Their melodies full of cheerful folk tunes. There's an alcove with delicate porcelain boxes from France. Their music as fine and fragile as spun sugar. You see a Japanese box of black and lacquer with a painting of Mount Fuji, and you can almost hear the serene notes of a koto. Each box is a world unto itself, a perfectly preserved moment. A deep sense of peace washes over you, a connection to all these unknown lives, these quiet moments of love, hope, and wonder. This shop isn't a place of business. It's a sanctuary, a library of the heart. After what feels like a blissful eternity, Madame Cordelia leads you toward the back of the shop, to a small, secluded area behind a velvet curtain. Here the lighting is even softer, and only a handful of music boxes rest on display. "This is my special collection," she says softly. "These boxes aren't just for remembering, they are for healing." She gestures to a simple, unassuming box on a central pedestal. It's made of a pale, smooth wood, with no carvings or inlays, only the beautiful grain of the wood itself. "This is the box of solitude," she says. It belonged to a lighthouse keeper on a remote windswept coast. His only companions were the seabirds and the waves. He would play this box during the long nights, and its melody is not one of loneliness, but of contentment. It holds the sound of the wind and the sea, and the quiet comfort of being peacefully alone. It reminds us that being alone and being lonely are not the same thing. As you look at the plain wooden box, you feel a sense of calm strength coming from it, a quiet self-sufficiency that is deeply reassuring. Next, she directs your attention to a cedar box carved with leaves and acorns. "This one holds the memory of a garden," she says. "It belonged to an elderly woman who had lost her sight. She could no longer see her flowers, but she could still smell the fragrance and feel the leaves. She would sit on her porch and play this music, and the melody is filled with the scent of damp earth after a spring rain and the warmth of the sun. It teaches us that there are many ways to see beauty. The air around the box seems to shimmer with the essence of a hidden garden." Finally, Madame Cordelia turns to the last box. It sits alone on a cushion of dark blue velvet. It's made of a deep, dark wood that seems to absorb the light. inlaid with a single shimmering silver star. And this, she says, her voice barely a whisper, is the box of dreams. Its history is a mystery, even to me. It always finds its way to someone who has lost their way and needs to find a new path. Its melody is different for everyone who hears. It doesn't hold a memory of the past. It holds the whisper of a potential future. It plays the song of the person you are meant to become. She looks at you then, her gentle, knowing eyes seeming to see right into your heart. The day's journey has been long, and the road ahead is still misty. I think this is the one you've come for tonight. She lifts the box from outside its cushion and holds it out to you. No, you don't have to take it, she says with a soft smile. Just sit. Listen. She gestures to a comfortable, high-backed armchair by the fire, and you sink into its cushions. The fire crackles beside you, a warm and comforting presence. Madame Cordelia places the box of dreams on a small table next to you. You gaze at the single silver star, with a movement so fluid it's almost invisible. She turns a tiny silver key on the side of the box. There's a soft click, and then a profound silence seems to fall over the shop. The symphony of the other music boxes fades away, leaving only the sound of the crackling fire and your own soft breathing. Then the first note emerges. It is a single perfect tone, as clear and pure as a drop of water. It hangs in the air before it's joined by another, and then another. The melody that unfolds is unlike anything you have ever heard. It holds a gentle sadness for parts not taken, yet it's filled with a quiet, hopeful joy for the parts that still lie ahead. You close your eyes, and the music flows directly into you. It is the sound of starlight on a clear night. It is the feeling of cool grass beneath your feet. The melody speaks of resilience, of a quiet strength you never knew you had. It speaks of forgiveness, for others and for yourself. It speaks of the persistent hope that burns like a pilot light, even in the darkest of times. The music washes over you, cleansing you of weariness and worry. It is a lullaby for a traveler's soul. The intricate notes weave a blanket of peace around you, a safe and warm cocoon of sound. You feel the last bits of tension leave your body, your limbs growing heavy and wonderfully relaxed. Your mind, once so busy, becomes as still and clear as a mountain lake at dawn. The melody begins to slow, the notes becoming softer, longer. It isn't ending, but transforming into a gentle, pulsing harmony. It is the sound of deep, dreamless sleep. Madame Cordelia's voice comes to you, as if from a great distance, a soft, soothing whisper. Rest now, dear traveler. Let the music hold you. Let it guide you through the mists of the night. There are no wrong turns here, only dreams. Sleep well. You feel yourself drifting on the soft currents of the melody, floating in a sea of tranquility. The warmth of the fire, the comfort of the chair, the gentle healing music, it all blends into a single sensation of perfect peace. The shop and its magical owner begin to fade, but the music remains, a steady, gentle presence. As the final soft notes dissolve into silence, the beautiful chorus of all the other boxes in the shop begins to swell again, accompanying your descent into sleep. The sound of the gentle patter of rain outside are the last thing you are aware of as you drift away into a deep, restorative slumber, safe within the magical walls of Madame Cordelia's shop. Sweet dreams, my dear sleepy friend, and good night.